0.25 mile run. Why do some people look so cute when they run? I mean, I've got my... Move, bitch! Get out of my fucking way! It's Black History Month!
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is your girl J.E. back with another episode of Shit Under My Nails. And for those who don't know, it is still Black Awareness Month. Black History Month is the month of February, and I greatly appreciate you guys being here with me. On today's episode, we will be talking about the NFAC. And if you don't know what that acronym stands for, I will let you know. So today's episode is specifically about the NFAC, the Not Fucking Around Coalition. If you don't know, that is a Black nationalist organization in the United States. This group is advocated for the Black liberals, and of course, as the news outlet call it, the Black militant. And if you don't know what that means, definitely use your dictionary.com because that'll definitely help. This was a group that was created in 2017 by a man by the name of John Fitzgerald Johnson, and he wanted to be known that he has no connection to the Black Panther Party, nor does he have a connection to Black Lives Matter. Now, this group and this organization was started by a man who is well known. His name is John Fitzgerald Johnson, also known as Grandmaster J. And Mr. John J. Fitzgerald Johnson claims leadership for this group, and they basically stated that this group of the NFAC, this group is specifically nobody but ex-military shooters, okay? So for those who don't know, Mr. Johnson, he actually served in the National Guard and the Army between 1989 all the way up until 2016, and he left being a private rank. He also decided to run for president in 2016. Of course, he was unsuccessful, but furthermore, that following year, that's when he put together this group of Black nationalists who basically took no shit and wasn't fucking around. He wanted to make sure that there were no more Greensboro massacres. Okay. So, for those who don't know, this group, like I stated, this group has been around since 2017, but we've mainly saw them for the specific killings of the African Americans against police brutality. So the first reported appearance of the NFAC members was actually May 12th of 2020 when they did the protest in Brunswick, Georgia for the February killing of Ahmaud Arbery. Um, though they were identified as Black Panthers. Mind you, Black Panthers were somebody that was a whole different group that was dismissed a while back. Now, Johnson also stated that the NFAC provided armed security for the sister of Rashad Brooks at her request because, for whatever reason, there was a big stir in Stone Mountain that the Ku Klux Klan, and I am a part of the Georgian community. The Ku Klux Klan made a very valid fucking statement where they specifically stated that they were going to kill a bunch of Black people by 8 p.m. So the NFAC, they decided to march the entire Stone Mountain grounds and give security protection for Rashad Brooks' sister as well, because she was a part of those people that they stated that they would kill. Um, on the 4th of July in 2020, local media reported that there was about 100 to 200 mostly armed NFAC members marching through Stone Mountain near Atlanta, Georgia, calling for the removal of the Confederate monument. So they still were holding their Confederate flags because there was a whole big thing here down south, right? So the NFAC posted videos of the event and reported the numbers as 1,500. The Stone Mountain Memorial Association, which operates the park, stated that the protesters were peaceful and orderly. So Johnson stated of the site, which is really important to the Ku Klux Klan. Um, they basically said that the formal militant, they sent them to Stone Mountain to send a message, and that message was basically stated across the country, which he basically was just on some, we really about this life, and he wanted it to be well known and descripted all over the United States. Now, he specifically said, I want the heart of the Ku Klux Klan to hear me. No matter where the fuck you are, I'm in your house. Where you at? You made a threat. We don't threaten. And when I tell you that was heard all over the world, it's like in 3.5 seconds, the world actually stopped to pay attention to an African American that put his life on the line for his people and let it be known that he is not fucking around. Not fucking around, coalition. Duh. All right, so on July the 25th, a local news outlet actually stated that there was more than 300 members that gathered in Louisville, Kentucky to protest the lack of action against the officers who were responsible for the March shooting of Breonna Taylor. The NFAC also posted a video of an event, its official YouTube page, basically reporting the number of militant members registered and present for that specific protest for Breonna Taylor was actually 3,500 people. So, for whatever reason, news outlet is not trying to make it as big as it really was, which it really was. Um, on July the 20th, they actually proceeded to go to the event where the Kentucky Attorney General Daniel and the Louisville Metro County President David James had a phone conversation with Johnson, which the AG's office described as very productive. In response to the announcement, the NFAC group was present about 50 armed 3% counter protests. Louisville police in a riot gear helped basically facilitate and maintain the space between the protesters who were actually trying to do some type of riot and the actual police officers so that there wouldn't be more of a conflict or more African Americans getting killed. Three of the NFAC members were wounded during this whole neglect of attention to their weapon, and it was actually discharged. Now, of course, Mr. Grandmaster J actually took those charges for those people to make sure that there weren't any harm. Um, on October the 3rd, over 400 members of the NFAC, along with over 200 of the armed protesters, marched in downtown Lafayette, Louisiana. They did another demonstration to spark up after the United States Representative Clay made a threat against protesters who showed up armed regarding the shooting of Trayford at the hands of the police. The NFAC member, Mr. Fitzgerald, basically said, along with other speakers, gave speeches and urged members to continue to protest after the group marched and left. On November the 2nd, they went again and did another protest in Kansas City based on Mr. Brooks announcing via Twitter that she was under protection from the NFAC after multiple allegations of harassment and committing communication of officers from the Kansas City Police Department. A week prior, she went viral online shortly after the video was released of her local city commissioner for choosing profits over people, as well as her push for the police chief, Ricky Smith, to be reassigned. On December the 3rd, Mr. Johnson was actually arrested for allegations of aiming a rifle at a police officer during a protest about Breonna Taylor's killing. So right now, from my understanding, he's actually incarcerated. I definitely will get some more update on the situation, but I will give you 13 facts that we did not know about Mr. Johnson. First of all, this man was actually born in 1970. He was born in 1970. He was a former rapper, producer, and a DJ, which that's why I definitely fucked with him. Um, he is a former director of the Global Cloud Inauguration Practice and Solutions. Um, he is a resident of Ohio. He is previously living, last of his living known about was anywhere between Virginia and Maryland. Uh, from, of course, like I told you earlier, 1989 to 2016. He served in the Virginia National Guard and the Army. And of course, he was ranked as a private. In 1997, he was stationed in Fort Bradford in North Carolina. In 2003, he was federally arrested and convicted and entered a military property. And it was a misdemeanor. And according to the records, Wave 3 news obtained from the Federal Bureau of Investigation field officers um, in Charlotte, North Carolina. In 2016, he ran for president of the United States as an independent candidate. He managed to get his name on 47 state ballots. So that's pretty accomplishable, even though he did not win. Um, he was also accused of pointing a AR platform rifle at a Louisville Metro Police officer and member of the U.S. Secret Service just after 8:30 p.m. on September the 4th of 2020 on the roof of Jefferson County Grand Jury Building in Louisville, Kentucky. So they basically say he just tried to snipe somebody with the AR platform rifle. On July the 4th of 2020, Mr. Johnson actually told Newsweek that the NFAC is not affiliated with Black Lives Matter, and he explained that we are a Black militant. We aren't protesters. We aren't demonstrators. We do not sing. We do not come to chat. That's not what we do. On July the 13th of 2020, he told the Atlanta Black Star, which is a magazine, that the NFAC made its first official public appearance at the KKK rally in Daytona, Ohio in 2019, even though they had begun in 2017. The group was standing guard to prevent a repeat of what happened in 1979, where Nazis and the KKK anti-racism of the Greensboro, North Carolina. And on December the 3rd of 2020, mind you, the year has just started, and the only whereabouts that we know of Mr. Johnson at this moment is that he's still currently incarcerated. But I'm definitely gonna give y'all a up to dated what's gonna happen with Mr. Johnson. And fact number 13. On December the 3rd, he was arrested and charged for the assault of the resistant. Certain officers and employees appeared before a federal judge in Louisville, Kentucky, just before 1 p.m. the day he was booked and detained. So he's in LaGrange, Kentucky. And from right now, from what we know, he's held without bond. But I'm definitely going to give some type of update on my Instagram. And for those who don't know, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or you feel that you want to do a specific episode on a specific person, definitely do not hesitate to hit me up on my Instagram. It is DURTTY_JOE. And then, of course, I'm on every social media platform. I'm on TikTok, I'm on Snapchat, I'm on Clubhouse. So definitely don't hesitate to hit me up. Um, Stay tuned for next week's episode. Mind you, these episodes aren't going to be as long as they normally would, but we're going to get to the point and do what needs to be done. All right, y'all. And if you don't know, you will know. It's always going to be a beautiful day on the south side of GA, and I love you guys.
Master J, and he led his self-proclaimed black militia group in Louisville. Tonight, John Johnson is in the Oldham County Jail. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us on the night team. I'm Doug Prophet. Johnson brought the Nfac to Louisville twice at the height of the protests over Branna Taylor's death. As the night team's Jesse Cohen reports, he's facing federal charges, accused of pointing an assault weapon at police back in September. Arrested at his home in Ohio, NFAC leader John Johnson, known as Grandmaster J, is now in the Oldham County Jail on federal charges. Court documents provide these two photos from September, the day before the Derby at Jefferson Square Park. Police say it shows Johnson holding an assault rifle pointed towards law enforcement officers on the roof above him. With rights comes responsibilities, and it's pretty obvious that that was an irresponsible action on his part. Dave Muchler, the press secretary with the FOP, says federal investigations are more deliberate, so he's not surprised by the 3-month timeline. The FOP is satisfied that the federal government is bringing those charges. A local advocate and pastor, Tim Finley, says the timing is not just. To use this and to make this move 3 months later speaks of flawed, ridiculous, racist, unfair policing structure in this city. Grandmaster J is a national figure. So this once again makes Louisville look like the hot spot of racism. I interviewed Johnson the day after those photos were taken, Derby Day. He had pulled his crew back from Churchill Downs after running into protesters. Protesters aren't organized. Protesters are emotional. That is dangerous. And a bunch of innocent people could get killed. But regardless of those feelings, Finley says these charges are shameful. While there may have been some ruffled feathers here and there, we were all wanting justice for Branna Taylor. In their first protest rally in July, Johnson said they would burn down the city. And all y'all thought we would show up with torches and burn the joint down. That was figurative. It meant that we would burn down something, and we burned down the walls. Grandmaster J is still in custody and has a detention and a preliminary hearing tomorrow at 2 p.m. For the night team.